Hi.
Hi. Welcome back.
Yeah, right. So we decided after the interview with me, Rhiannon from Together Photography was interviewing me, and then we turned off the camera and I was asking her a bunch of questions about how she we need to record this. So we decided to come back and do a little interview for her. She's in the hot seat.
It's a little intimidating over here.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
So how did you get started in photography?
So, it's so funny. Photography in general or newborn photography? Because those
Photography in general and then newborn photography.
My father was an amateur photographer, always had a camera in his hands, and probably as a result, I was not interested in photography.
Yeah.
And so in college, I went to liberal arts, that's the word I'm looking for, school. So of course we had different requirements, and one of them was an art requirement, and I wanted to take ceramics, which is a very popular course. And it was full. I couldn't get into it any semester. So I settled for photography. But in the dark, of my time in that class was in the dark room.
Okay.
But I learned a lot about composition and how to use a camera, basically. So that was like the initial introduction to photography there, but I didn't become a photographer until my mid-30s.
Okay. And what caused you to make that jump?
My husband.
Oh, good. Okay.
His father was a professional photographer.
Really? I didn't know that.
And as a result, he loved photography.
Okay.
So he always, had a camera in his hand. And one of his close friends, when he got married, said, "Hey, do you want to be my best man and my photographer?"
Okay.
Which, there was like 11 of us at this wedding. It was on a cliff in Jamestown. Is that the name of the town? In Rhode Island. It's like right on the ocean. Yeah. So David was able to basically do both, except when his responsibilities came for the best man part of the camera. Okay. Really fun. Like, we should do this. Don't ever make decisions like that. But that's really, we were like, we can do this. Let's
and then
do
you
it.
entered wedding photography.
Yeah, we started as wedding photographers. Wow. In fact, that picture right there, if you want to grab it, this is the first wedding we shot.
Aww.
So there you go.
Beautiful.
First wedding we shot together.
Love it.
We ended up with an image like that, so
and then,
I guess it was okay.
How did you transition into newborn?
I had a baby.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I was like, I'm a photographer. I can do this. We don't need to hire a newborn photographer.
Okay.
Worst decision I've ever made in my life.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's not easy. Which now it's easier for me. This is my specialty, but yeah. He had another friend who had a baby just like 2 weeks before our first. And so I did our photo. It's, the posing, the stress of having just had a baby.
Okay.
All of these things. So
I can see that.
Yeah. So I called up our friend and I was like, "Can I come take pictures of your baby too?" Because instead of me going, "That was horrible, I never want to do this again," I went, "That was horrible, how can I make this better?"
Okay.
So, my photo session with her baby went a whole lot better than with my own baby.
Okay.
And then from there, I just started studying. Yeah, it was kind of insane. But I still hire other photographers for my babies, even though, I mean, because I had C-sections, so I'm recovering from major surgery. You've got all the postpartum emotions, etc. I still do take newborn photos of my own kids, but
not like the
it's not, well, no, I do. I bring them in my studio and everything, but I don't have the pressure to get
I know your limits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, so you have just a very neat and distinct style, I feel like. Because I know a lot of photographers. I'm a childbirth educator and doula by trade. And I meet a lot of photographers, but I feel like I can point out your work without even a watermark on it. Like I can go somewhere and be like, oh, that's Rhiannon's.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to talk a little bit about how you would define your style and how you decided to move in that direction.
So I would say that the style found me.
Okay.
You know, when I first started, I tried all of those different looks that you see from other photographers, like the bright colors or, you know, more props, that kind of thing. And I really I love babies. I love they're so unique. The smell, the feel, the noises they make, like, there's just nothing like that newborn phase. Yeah. And so I realized that I didn't want all these other distractions, if you will, in a photograph.
Okay.
That I just want families to be able to look at their images and remember that newborn smell and remember those cute little noises that they make.
Aww.
And so, you know, you look at my newborn photos especially, and like they're just kind of absent, like those props are absent.
Do you want to grab a few of them?
Sure, yeah, let me grab a couple.
So I used to have in my home office a lot of Rhiannon's work on canvases, and I'm bringing them back for her because she's going to hang them up at Root and Sprout where I have my new office. But this is some of her work. It's just so sweet.
I'll grab the 4 small.
This one's I feel your style.
Oh, thanks.
He's so sweet. Oh my gosh. Like a little chick or something.
I know, he's so sweet.
So
actually he's from Boylston.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I try to use textures more than other things in my photos. Like that one that you love.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you've got the wood texture, you've got the burlap texture, and whatnot. So that's something I really
That's really beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so you come to Rhiannon's home office, which is so cute, and she has all of these like scarves and little props everywhere.
I don't even use those things anymore.
Where's let's see some of yours. She has like all these little outfits that people send her to put on babies. Like little hats and this is fun. Oh
and some of them I make, like when I made. Yeah, these sweater. Or I don't know, right?
So cute.
I've actually made that first hat you pulled up too. I made this one. I've made. What did you just point out? All the ones I've made.
This is the cutest little thing.
So
man, I didn't know this.
Yeah. So I break sewing machines. I don't really sew, even though all of these are sewn. Like this one I made. That one I didn't. That one I bought.
Oh.
I can't wait to use it.
It's really, really cute.
But like these brown ones I made. I break sewing machines. So these are not like well put together. But they don't have to be because they're just going on a baby for a couple of minutes. Like it's not like they're wearing these around. So they're really just photo props.
Oh my gosh, is that like a little bathing suit?
No, it's just a little, I have pictures of a little baby girl in that outfit.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Oh.
So I tend toward natural colors. Yeah, I made those too. There's a
So what is your newborns or your favorite to shoot?
Yeah.
But you also shoot other things. You're a family photographer as well.
Yes.
Maternity. Mm-hmm. Do you still do weddings or not?
My husband and I do weddings under a different brand, davidannie.com, if you're interested, which we don't do very many of.
Okay.
Because we both work in other jobs. We want to, just like in Knit Together, I really want my clients to have my attention and my attention for the whole time. Like this is a hard time of life when you're pregnant and you're having babies. Like you don't need to be worrying about like, am I going to remember this time of life? Like I want you it's my job. I think in the last blog post, I can't speak English. The last blog post I wrote, I like started off with, I'm not a photographer because like I'm working and that's my job. I want you to end up with a campus on your wall so that you can say, like, you can walk by it every day and go, oh, that's what my baby was like. Like, they look so different now. Like, this is amazing because it's such a fleeting time of life. And
it really is. You know, I love photography. We've had a family photographer who's taken photos of us through the years, and
which are really fun if you put it on page.
And you know, in the hard times of parenthood, it's so nice to be like, I have the book on my coffee table, and I'll just pull it out and like I can be having the worst day. I can be having the worst day. Like, oh, this kid doesn't like me, and this one has been crying all day. And at the end of the day,
sweet, and they do love me.
And then you just pull out the book, and it has all the family photos. Oh, I remember when they were little, and what photography does is it captures these moments in time and allows us to take back and look at other. Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody this weekend at the retreat about this too. Like, and she was like, you're right, I need to put pictures of my girls playing together on my wall because they're 5 and 7, I think she said. And they, you know, so they're at an age where they're just butting heads a lot and not getting along great. And she was like, but I know they love each other, and they know it, like they need to see that too. Of like, oh, we do love each other, and like we can get along, you know, and just remembering that. So,
well, just in life in general, it can be easy to focus on the things that aren't going well, or even if like 99% of things are going well, you can focus on that 1%. And photography allows us to capture those moments of beauty and goodness and to relive them every day on our wall, right?
Right. Yeah, or on your table. Like that's an awesome way to remember too. And like, So, and I think with digital, you know, like we all have cameras on our phone now, and so we always think like, oh, we have all these pictures, but how often do you go back on your phone and like flip through your pictures? Which, by the way, iPhones actually have in the photo app. I just discovered this, and it's kind of amazing. So if you do want to like be like, oh, what are these pictures from the last year? They put together like memory slideshows for you. I just discovered this, and they're pretty awesome.
Oh, cool.
But like, how often do you do that? Like, I do it once every couple of months, maybe, and like, but this image of my daughter I see every time I go in and out of my house. You know, that's right here on my wall, and I go, oh, that was our vacation at the beach. That was so fun. Like, that's our family, and that's our life.
Yeah. Oh, well, what is a session with you like? Can you walk us through like a family session? What that would be like?
Sure. I this often with I'll do a newborn session because I think that's the most unique.
Okay.
With any session with me, when you first inquire about a session, the first thing I'm going to do is give you a call. So much is lost in translation in the written word, so I want to talk to you just for 10 minutes and say, hey, Rebecca, you know, I love that you contacted me about a newborn session. Like, what is it? What's your goal for this session? What do you want to do with these images, etc.? Because the way that I shoot a session is going to be different based on whether you want to put it in an album or you want to hang it on your wall. So I want to know those things ahead of time so that we can work together to create an end product, not just the images themselves, but that end product that you're going to love. So then we'll meet together. So often people choose to come to my studio, especially for newborn session consultations, so that they can see the space where we're going to be working. So you'll come to my studio, we'll talk through, it usually takes about an hour, we'll talk through, you know, what are the color schemes in your house? What kind of things are you drawn to?
Wow, you draw that.
Yeah.
Very neat.
What are some images of mine that you've seen that you love, and why? what is it about that image? Is it the texture in it? Is it the color? Is it what is it? Is it the feeling you get from it? Like those are all valid kind of responses. So we'll talk through those kinds of things. And then for a newborn session, we pencil in your session date because, as you know, as a childbirth professional, you know, babies come when they want to come.
They do.
So
they sure do.
What I do is I usually pencil in about 10 days after the actual due date.
Okay.
And then once the baby's born, you give me a call, a text, an email, whatever, and let me know that they've come and what their due date or what their birth actually is.
Right.
Then born session is between 5 and 14 days.
5 and 14 days. Remember
which is so fast.
And why is that? Is that because they're all squishy and they sleep a lot? Or?
Yes, exactly. So after about 14 days, they figure out like, oh, I'm not inside the womb anymore. Like I can stretch out. They're more awake. They just don't. I can do sessions after 14 days, but it's going to be more difficult. And so I don't guarantee those squishy little baby poses that you see and you think of when you think of newborn photography.
Interesting. So pregnant moms, make a note of that.
So
14 days.
Right.
5 and 14
Which if you've had a C-section, that's like the day you come home from the hospital or the day after you come home from the hospital is like the earliest.
Yeah,
so the only caveat in that is if you have a baby boy and you choose to circumcise him.
Okay.
I won't do the session within 5 days of the circumcision.
Okay.
So like often that will be like day 7 is the earliest a boy will come.
Yeah.
So then we have the session, which lasts anywhere from 2 to 3 hours.
Great.
The quickest I've done a full newborn session is an hour and a half.
Wow.
The timing really depends on the baby and how, they're little humans. They are going to have a mind of their own. Yeah. So sometimes, despite what we do, they're going to be awake. They're going to be gassy. They're going to be, you know, and if we have a really horrible session, like it's just been a bad day for the baby, we can reschedule.
Okay, so that's so good to hear because I feel like as a new mom, every little thing can stress you out, and it might be an obstacle for some people thinking, oh gosh, I don't know if I can even wrap my head around getting out of the house between 5 to 14 days postpartum and making sure my baby acts perfectly for this newborn
There's
session.
no way you can make your baby act perfectly.
Yeah.
Because you pick up on your stress. And I'm used to this. Like, this is my job. I work with babies. So, like, I would say 90% of a newborn session is me holding and shushing and rocking the baby and working with them to be calm.
Okay.
And then very, very little of the session is me actually taking photographs.
Okay.
So
you schedule a big window because
yes.
you know that. That's so nice.
Yeah. And like I said, if it turns out like this baby is just not, we're going to get like 5 images from the session. Yeah. Like, you know, after 2 or 3 hours, I'm just going to say, you know what, like this isn't working. Let's try this again in a couple of days.
Have you ever had to do that?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
So, well, I've never done that only because the babies I've had like that have been model calls. So and part of the reason that's happened is that I have a very specific thing that I'm trying to do with them. And that I want.
Calls that you put out on occasion?
So I will do a model call if I have a specific pose that I want practice with. If I have an outfit, sometimes vendors will send me outfits. So the last baby girl that I had in was for the specific baby girl outfit that I had, so that the vendor could have images for their website.
Sweet.
And then like I just did a maternity model call. I don't have a lot of maternity photos in my portfolio, especially in the studio.
Okay.
I'm an outdoors girl, so I love to do sessions outside, and most people do prefer to do sessions outside, but I want people to know that I can also do them
inside.
In the studio, especially in the winter. That's more of a draw for maternity sessions, so I just wanted to get a couple people in to model some of the dresses that I have, get just more images in my portfolio, that kind of stuff. So the I so yeah, so the model calls are very specific, and then so I have a couple of maternity sessions coming up for model calls.
Thanks. And where can people contact you?
So the
What's
best,
your website?
knittogetherphotography.com, and then just go to the Hire Me link and fill out the form.
Okay.
So I can, like I said, I'll give you a call. You'll get an auto reply email that says this is an auto reply email, just so that you know that it went through.
Good.
It'll give you a little bit of information about me, and then I'll be giving you a call within the next couple of days. So
wonderful.
Being a mom of 3 little ones, I don't work full time, so I have very kind of varied office hours.
Okay.
So every other Wednesday evening is one time. So if you can't take a call during the day, evenings or Saturdays when I don't have sessions, and then it's supposed to be Tuesdays that I work, but lately it's been Mondays. And then I will try afternoons if my kids are all napping.
Okay.
So we do all have a rest time, but sometimes they're a little loud.
Yeah.
But I try, and then some evenings, once my husband's home, I'll try.
Good.
Different times where after the kids go to bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I work it in. Like, I know
I'm
busy, you're busy. Like, I want us to just be able to connect. So
Good.
I'll make time. The only day that I just don't work, my phone does ring, and every once in a while I'll be sitting at my computer and answer it, is Sundays. But I probably won't ever try to call you on a Sunday or whatever. That's our family day.
Yeah,
So.
good. That's important.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much. It was great talking to you, and this was fun. So you can go to knittogetherphotography.com to book a session.
Yeah.